Hello, it's Who time. So, I have some questions for you viewers. Do you like custom Doctor Who action figures? Do you like looking at pretty images of custom Doctor Who figures? Do you want inspiration to create some of your own? If you answered yes to all of these, then you're in the right place. As today, we're looking at some of my favourite Doctor Who figure customizers out there in the fandom. It's not in any particular order and it's not comprehensive. These are just some of the accounts that I follow on various social media that I think you should check out if you haven't already. If you find this video interesting, by the end of course, then let me know with a like and comment, and then maybe I'll do some more videos along these lines. I know there are more Dalek focused customizers out there and they should probably have a separate video. In fact, they will be in future videos, so keep an eye out. Right. Let's crack on with this vid and let's plug some awesome Doctor Who figure customizers. First off, we have Rob White. Now, if you've watched my content before, you will have certainly heard of this wonderful chap. I've bought several batches of customs off him previously, as he does a superb job. First, I bought a batch of 12th Doctor era stuff, then 3 further smaller batches covering monsters from the 60s, 70s and 80s. You can watch those on my channel now if you'd like, but don't forget to come back here afterwards. To see all his wondrous handiwork, you need to head to Flickr. On there you can see he does customs from all eras of the show. He's made an insane number of them, and they're remarkable, all done by hand. There's no 3D printed pieces here, just spare figure parts, milliput, plastic art and other bits and bobs, plus tools of course. To learn more about how he does it, you can visit his blog site for further info. You can also commission figures off him if you wish to do so. He has a dedicated page on that topic for further information. All the links are in the description of course. Next up, we have another amazing customizer and seller of custom Doctor Who 3D printed resin parts, NDW Design or Nathan Ward. He's been going for a few years now and he has produced an incredible plethora of 3D printed parts to help out fellow customizers, including, for example, a Silurian, Vervoid, a Kablam Man, Hemamore, just to name a few, and he has much more planned. He predominantly works in tandem with Heleno Souza, who renders Doctor Who character heads in a 3D printable format. Then Nathan prints and sells the sculpts on his Etsy page, so keep an eye out on there for the latest releases. And also go and join the dedicated Facebook page for up-to-date news on upcoming releases and for interacting with other customizers. Nathan also has a YouTube channel as well called Dalek Idea, where he often posts videos on how best to paint the custom heads he has produced. You can of course also view his Instagram to see his latest completed customs. All the useful links for the aforementioned will be in the description of course. Next we have the lesser known but super talented Mark Towler. I discovered him on a custom Doctor Who figure Facebook group where he'd post his magnificent creations. Fortunately, he has Instagram as well with a rather rude name where he's collated all his pictures of his astonishing customs. Clearly he's a master of sculpting and paintwork. He focuses on the 60s and 70s eras of the show, mainly the Pertwee era. It's just incredible work. Go and follow him now. After that, we're on to a mega American fan of Doctor Who, Mr. Troy Wood. He's a fantastic producer of 3D printable files of Doctor Who characters and monsters, and the best thing, they're absolutely free on his website, where he's produced over 40 designs himself, and he also shares many designs from other Doctor Who 3D print file makers in his guest section, which also includes props as well as figure parts. I've followed his work for many years and printed off many of his creations. If you have a 3D printer or are willing to pay for someone else to print the parts, this may be a great way to expand your Doctor Who figure collection. To stay up to date on Troy's work and see the finished 3D printed Doctor Who figures, you can check out Troy's Instagram of course. You can also check out his YouTube channel where he further explains his process and how to assemble and paint his figures. Links are in the description of course. Here's another amazing Doctor Who figure customizer, WhosWhoCustoms. He has produced custom Doctor Who figures from all eras of the TV show, plus other areas of the franchise, including Big Finish and comics. He often does more niche customs like one-off monsters and secondary characters from stories, which are just amazing. He's another customizer who likes to do everything himself. You won't see any 3D printed parts here. clearly a dab hand with sculpting and painting. This is an account you must follow, incredible work. He also has an eBay shop as well, where he often sells some of his amazing work. That account is called Griff22_123, very different from his Instagram, and that's actually where I first discovered his work. Links are in the description, of course. Now for a more recognised Doctor Who figure customizer of YouTube fame, it's CaptainJimiPie. A veteran of WhoTube, or YouTube, and customizing, he's a must-watch for those wanting to learn about custom Doctor Who figures and to seek inspiration from. With over 1,200 videos, he has plenty of content to consume, and not just custom related. His customs are all-encompassing, from big-name characters to the super niche. He also likes to make custom figure packaging, which makes you wish it was an official release. He's on all the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Insta. He also has shops on Etsy and eBay, where he sells custom resin heads and parts for the Doctor, Master, Daleks, and Cybermen. As usual, all the links are in the description. Next up is Gallifrey Customs, or Scott. This guy is a Doctor Who custom figure making machine. He does it all. He renders great Doctor Who character head sculpts on his computer, prints them, and makes loads of fantastic customs from across the Doctor Who universe. As soon as Flux started, he was on it and has basically produced everyone from the latest series. Astounding. I have just bought a batch of his stuff actually from him, which he kindly sorted out privately. Normally though, he sells his work via NDW Design, as mentioned earlier. You can of course follow him on his Insta, as you can see, but he's also on Twitter. Go and give him a follow there as well. Plus, he's also just started a YouTube channel where he runs through some of his customs and reviews action figure set releases. So give him a subscribe there as well. Links are of course in the description. Now we move on to DoctorWho.Photography, or James, another 3D modeler here who produces fabulous custom figure work, plus takes beautiful photos of his customs and figures to boot. To see more of his extensive collection of customs, you can click on these collated Instagram stories and flick through. It's super impressive work and worth a look. If you want to buy some of his custom heads like Gallifrey Customs, he too often sells his work via NDW Design, as mentioned previously. I'm currently working on Safran, a fish person, and Taran Capel, or Dask, which were all made by James. You can also friend him on Facebook. His account is called James Modeler. He often posts in Doctor Who custom figure Facebook groups as well, sometimes with links to 3D printable files of Doctor Who characters for absolutely nothing, for free. Links are in the description, of course. Next up, it's MisterTom. He not only makes lovely custom Doctor Who figures, but takes beautiful rendered photos with them. He often produces stuff entirely himself, as well as, like me, buys the lovely 3D printed heads from NDW Design, Gallifrey Customs, and from James, who was just mentioned moments ago, and produces a great end result with them. He always does an incredibly neat, crisp job on his customs, and his photography skills show them in the best light. He's certainly worth following on Instagram, as you can see, and also go give him a follow on Twitter as well. Links are in the description once again. Say hello to Gallifreyan Productions on YouTube. He has 4 videos showcasing his wonderful customs that are worth checking out. He's done loads of customs, and he's very talented at it. The videos are definitely worth a watch as a fan of Doctor Who custom figures. It may even give you some inspiration for your own work. Check these videos out and subscribe to his channel. You can also follow him on Insta at Gallifrey Stands, where he has a massive following. You can see all the merch he buys and his extensive Doctor Who collection, including figures and custom figures, of course. Links are in the description. Our penultimate plug here is for Doctor Who UK Customs, or Kit is the name. This talented chap is an absolute machine at making customs. On his Instagram you can see his extensive work and collection. Like myself, he makes customs from scratch and also buys 3D printed parts to elevate his customs. But unlike me, he produces customs at a rate of knots. There's a lot to enjoy here and take inspiration from. I certainly have. He also has another Instagram account, Doctor Who UK, which is his main account, displaying his love for Doctor Who in a broader sense. Doctor Who UK Customs is a more custom figure focused account, of course. Go and follow both these accounts for custom Doctor Who figure goodness. You'll be unsurprised to hear that the links are in the description. Last but by no means least, we have Doctor Who Figure Photography, not to be confused with James's account earlier, who he does have some heads off actually. This chap does make customs using 3D printed heads from the usual suspects mentioned earlier, and also dabbles in some 3D rendering himself too. He's fully rendered some plasmatons himself. I love it. There are some lovely Doctor, Companion and Monster variants here, which have inspired me and are now on my to-do list. Go give this account a follow, link is in the description. And that's your lot this week. I hope you liked all those Doctor Who figure customizers out there. I certainly do. Go and follow them, go and give them appreciation. They absolutely deserve it. You know who else deserves some appreciation? Me! Go and follow me on Twitter and Instagram to look at my Doctor Who figure customs. I think they're not bad. Look at those as well. My Twitter handle is @WhoTimeUK. And my Instagram is instagram.com/WhoTimeUK. Those are the best places to see what I'm doing with my Doctor Who figure customs. That's updated a lot better than YouTube. Sorry about that. Also, if you like this vid, go and actually like it. Click on that thumbs up thing. Also, comment below. Comment your thoughts about customs and what you'd like to see more from this channel maybe regarding Doctor Who figure customs. Also, if you haven't already, go and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. And if you actually want to keep fully up to date with new content, you better click on that bell. That gives you a notification when new stuff comes. Right, I think that's everything. I'll see you in the next vid.